Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the BrainCells parents who have joined us for this Clubhouse session today. The topic for today's Clubhouse session is communicating with children. In today's Clubhouse, we are going to give you some practical tips and some very implementable techniques that you can practice on a day-to-day basis. In this, you will also get to know how to become a communicating parent from being an instructing parent, right? So when you're an instructing parent, you're giving instructions to your child, and in communication, you know that it's a two-way communication. Isn't that true? Let's take a test to first find out that whether you are an instructing parent or you're a communicating parent. Ask yourself this question, that on a day-to-day basis, do you tell your child in this way that don't do this, don't do that, don't climb there, don't say it again, don't touch it? Or you say it in this way, that can we do this? Can we do that? Is there a better way of doing this? Is there another way of doing that? This is called as communicating parent, right? Wouldn't it be great that you're able to involve the child in the discussion? Whenever you, of course, you're in a way, you're instructing the child itself in the second path of becoming a communicating, but now you're involving them in these discussions. How does it help? You are treating them like an individual. Otherwise, to an adult, you would want to involve them in your discussions. Why not children as well? So you're inculcating that habit in them of making them an individual right when they are children. This is also, in a way, creating self-esteem in them, because they know that mama, papa want me in this discussion, right? So that is kind of increasing the self-esteem in them. It is creating their character. They are becoming more and more independent. How is it helping? When they become independent, your parenting becomes easy. Let's today now look at these tools and techniques, and very practical. There are names to it. Please make sure that you write down these names of the techniques. And now, from now on, you're going to practice these techniques as well. All right, for the age group of 0 to 3, let's take an example of this age group first, and then from age group to 3 plus, 4 plus, or 5 plus, right? There are two different ways that you need to be communicating. For the first way, we say that you have to become a talkative parent. So let's look at what is talkative parent. When the child is very young, let's say it's a just newborn baby to up to 3 years of age, things are pretty much new for them. Isn't that true? They're exploring the world for the first time. The touch is new. Whatever they are looking at is fresh, new. It's for the first time. They're exploring everything. Just keep this in mind, right? They're doing everything for the first time in their life. Not even once they have done it before. They have their own ways now to responding to these situations which are coming to them for the first time. So they would of course respond it in a different way. Isn't that true? Whenever a new situation even comes to us, we get a little bit of baffled. You're getting the analogy, right? So especially for the 0 to 3 years age group, becoming a talkative parent, there are these two techniques that we need to implement. All right. First technique is pre-talk. In pre-talk, what do we have to do? We have to prepare our child for the event or an action that we are going to perform. Take an example that is just newborn baby, 1 month old, 2.5 month old, 5 month old, a year old. We see a very peculiar behavior. Let's say, we're traveling somewhere and we're taking our child along with us, be it bus, train, especially in aeroplane. We hear this a lot. A lot of children are crying all the time, and suddenly all of them start crying together as well. It becomes too much for the parent to handle them as well, let alone rest of the travelers who are probably getting annoyed. But for the parents who have brought these kids on the aeroplane, it becomes a little difficult time for them. Why is it happening? Have we asked ourselves this question? They are traveling for the first time. It's a first experience for them. And if we can make this first experience really amazing for them, do you think that next time they travel, that experience which was created for the first time, it's going to add to that, and next time they're prepared for it, right? So how do we prepare them? So this pre-talk helps in that case, right? So take this example of you're going to travel on an airplane to some other city, let's say, along with your child. Half an hour before you start the journey, or even an hour before you start the journey, tell your child each and every step that he is going to experience and expect in that journey. Simple. It's that simple, right? So you're getting prepared, you're changing your clothes, you're changing baby's clothes, and you're getting prepared, you're packing your bags for the last minute, whatever you want to pack the stuff. You're about to start using the cab, you're going to go to the airport. So in this time frame that you have, tell your child, once landing on the airport, what all is going to happen until you reach your destination by an airplane and you're going to land in that other city. Tell everything that is going to happen, right? So, hey baby, we gonna go to the airport, then there's going to be a check-in, our luggage is going to get checked in, then there are going to be some officers who are going to do security check. Then after doing the security check, we'll be spending like 15 minutes to half an hour at the waiting lounge, and then we are going to enter inside an aeroplane. Do you know an aeroplane? It's a big vessel wherein people sit and they fly in the air, in the clouds, in the sky. Isn't that amazing? We are going to do all of this, right? And when we enter inside, there are going to be a lot of people together. There will be 100 or 150 people will be sitting on their chairs, and they will be also be traveling with us, and so on and so forth, right? Tell them the entire process. And let me tell you, you can start by, even if your child is like 1 month old, just newborn baby, 1 month old, 2.5 months old, 6 months old, 1 year, children understand. It's the parent's voice, right? They are connected to you heart by heart. When they hear you, what you're saying, tell them everything and just be prepared for that magic, right? Tell them this process, take them to the airplane, just believe in this process, and once you sit inside, your child will never cry. We have parents, who are practicing with us, told us that it worked like a charm. It worked amazingly well when they were traveling, and it was like a 6-hour journey to some other country itself, not even a city, to another country. And this simple technique worked for them, and it works. Why? Because child is prepared for the activity that he's going to do. He's listening, he's hearing all of that, right? And he's prepared, and he's in a way drawing a picture through you of what is going to happen, right? So in a way does not become a complete new experience for him or her, right? He's prepared for that experience, and now when this experience becomes fresh and it comes as a joyous experience, they're happy when they're actually experiencing that journey. Next time when they go to airport, next time they enter inside an airplane or a train or a bus, it becomes even more joyful. They know what to expect already, and then they enjoy this. One experience of journey that I spoke about, but it can be anything, right? You want to prepare your child for a bath. Tell him what is going to, for the first time, right? Tell the child what is going to happen during that time. The water is going to be lukewarm. I'm going to pour the water on you, and this is what is going to happen. Now you're going to feel fresh. Prepare your child in any and every action, especially for a major event, something like marriages, right? You would want to take your child to a marriage. We see, a lot of parents saying that, he's shy, he wouldn't talk to a lot of people, he doesn't like to talk. Is that a normal behavior? Do we want our child to be shy, or we want our child to express? How to go about doing that? It's a simple, again, pre-talk, right? Prepare your child for that event. Again, child is going to see 500, 600, 1,000 people together for the first time. Prepare the child for this event, for a marriage event, and tell the child that there are going to be 1,000 people, there are going to be 500 people sitting all together. They will be talking to each other. They'll be making some noise, having some fun. We're going to meet this uncle and auntie. We're going to meet your mama, your uncle, your grandpa, grandma, whoever you're going to meet over there in that marriage. Explain your child before going to that event, and the child will be prepared. And let me tell you, he won't be a shy child. At the first glance of a mama, uncle, auntie, grandpa, grandma, he's going to give them greetings through his amazing smile. This is going to happen, right? So use this technique, pre-talk, to maximum extent, and do let us know how you felt. Also, if you have any further questions regarding this, how to do it, when to do it, you can always drop us an email. The next technique that I want to give you is parallel talk. So for any activity that you're performing, you now have to do a parallel talk. And always remember that these pre-talk and parallel talk are really effective for the age group of 0 to 3, right? Wherein children are exploring the things for the first time, right? We always see parents complaining that, he doesn't like to go to bath that much. Another example is, some children become cranky when food is brought to them, their lunch is brought to them, when their dinner is brought to them, they become a little cranky, or they're not interested in having the food, right? You make it interesting in this parallel talk, and next time they perform this activity, they are just going to love it. How? Let me tell you, right? You're taking your child to bath, right? And you're performing that activity along with the child. Again, be talkative. Talk to the child as much as possible. Be a crazy parent while doing this activity, all right? So, you're bathing your child. Tell him, I'm going to pour the water on your left hand. I'm going to pour the water on your right hand. I'm going to now pour the water on your head. How does it feel? And you're performing this activity and talking. Okay, shall I rub your belly with a soap now? How does it feel? Is it soft? How does it feel? Okay, let me put the water on your left hand. Let me put water again on your right hand, and on your leg, on your right leg. Through this, we are giving them vocabulary as well. Are you getting that point? So we're building their database of knowledge. We are also building their vocab. And because of this, child, whenever he wants to do it next time, he knows, Mama does it very well. I love this way. Mama is talking to me. Mama is explaining me everything, and in a fun way. And you can, probably build some rhymes as well around that. Very interesting way of doing it. One of our parents do that. I'm not really good at, creating the rhymes, but, let me try. Water goes on left hand, water goes on right hand. Where does it go now? On your head. beautiful way. Again, this talkativeness is preparing for them for everything that they're experiencing. For food, let's take an example, right? You're making the child eat the food. Tell them what are the ingredients. Whatever are the ingredients, you tell them, right? In that food, let's say it's a sabji. You're feeding your child. In that process, you tell them, what is the sabji, what are the masalas that you've used in that, how much salt did you put in that, and then how does it taste, what is its taste, how does it feel like, is it hot, lukewarm. Talk about anything and everything. You're changing the diaper of your child. Tell the child, how does this diaper look? Is it white in color or yellow in color? Tell the color of the diaper. Are there some characters drawn on that diaper? Show that diaper, right? Then make the child make the child wear that diaper. I'm pushing it through the left leg, I'm pushing it through the right leg, now I'm pulling it up. Try and bring enthusiasm into this, right? Wouldn't it be exciting even for you? So even for you as a parent, it will not be a tiresome job anymore. You are going to enjoy this. Bring these rhymes, bring this mix into performing these activities, and it's just going to be a blissful parenting experience, and that's what we want. Isn't that true? Also, I gave you an example of pre-talk in airplane journey. Now when you are you're performing that journey, or maybe you're traveling with your child, you're actually inside the airplane, you can again speak about what are the events happening around the child. Child is just small, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months old. You tell the child what are the events happening around them, and then they are going to enjoy this talkativeness of you. And also, it's going to take your boredom away of just sitting in one place. Instead of that, you be talkative. And this habit of talkativeness again is inculcating one more habit. You will never raise a child who is shy. Even that child is going to be talkative. Isn't that true? Now let's take an example of the age group of 3+, 4+, and 5+, right? Name of the technique is curiosity talk. All right, it is curiosity talk. Let's how it works. For the age group of 3+, 5+, 6+, they've seen the world. These children have seen the world. They've experienced a lot of things together. But now their curiosity is increasing. Parents, especially who have these children in the age group of 3 year plus, 4 year plus, and 5 year plus, they see that children are becoming more and more curious about new things. They want to know what is happening around them. If it's raining, how does it rain? They would ask you a question. If you fire up an engine of car, how does car run? If you bring them to a garden and birds are chirping, why birds are chirping? You are going to face these questions over and over and over again, right? Because your child has become curious and he wants answers for his curiosity. It's a human tendency, right? A child is human at the end of the day. It's a human tendency to find out answers to the bubbles of curiosity that are boiling inside. Isn't that true? So what is child going to do? In this case, he's going to ask a lot of questions. He's going to just bombard you with the questions. And in the process, what usually happens is that parents either tend to give an immediate answer that they know, or some parents usually simply refuse to answer. I don't know. I'm not interested. I would say both ways, in a way, are not great ways of becoming a communicating parent, right? What happens in the first way, when you just simply give an answer to the child's question, even if you know, and even if the answer is right, what is happening, that in a way we are inculcating a habit in a child that for a question there is only one single answer correct. But when we practice it on day-to-day basis, when we become adults, do we really think that there is only one path or one solution to every problem? In mathematics, we see, to reach to a solution, there are multiple paths. There can be multiple solutions to a problem. In life's problems, right? A life problem can be solved in multiple different ways. And to reach to that solution, human tendency is to reach to the solution through an optimal way, through the shortest path. But do we know that the path we are following is the shortest path to reach to the solution unless we know other paths? Right? So it's always important to give your child multiple ways of thinking and inculcating again the habit of reaching to the solution using multiple paths. And that's what we call it as curiosity talk. So this is how it works. So whenever a child asks a question, especially in this age group of 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus, right? And this is important for the parents who are raising the child, and their child is like 5 months old, 6 months old, and 1 year plus old. You're going to face this problem as well. So keep your ears open and listen to this very carefully, because your child is going to be 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus, and you're going to see this happening and how to respond to that. So now come to curiosity talk. Let's take an example that your child asks you a simple question: how does it rain? You know the answer, but you're not supposed to give the answer right away. This is what you do. So you put a question back to the child, right? Now he asks you a question that how does it rain? So you ask these questions back to the child. What do you think really happens? What do you have in your mind? How does it rain? Can you tell me? What do you think? And then that child's curiosity is fired up even more. Now he's telling his creative story. And this is part of your creative storytelling as well, right? So now probably child will think, oh, somebody told me that because of vapors, the clouds form, and because clouds form, it rains. Now, next thing that you should do is ask another question. Okay, all right, that could be true, but what else do you think must be happening here? Again, firing up that curiosity one more time. Now he must be thinking, oh, yeah, dad is right, or mama is right. How it must be happening, right? Oh, I think so. The vapors were getting created when, and this is what child will say. Oh, vapors were getting created while mama or grandma was boiling the water the other day. See? To what extent we, turn that curiosity into creative storytelling by the children. Right? Now the child thinks that because water was boiling in the kitchen, the vapors were getting created, and those vapors are now going in the sky and creating the clouds. All the way, all this while we know that this is not true, right? Don't give the answer. The ocean is boiling and then the vapors are going up. Don't give the answer this way. Okay, but it's a small amount of water. Now you put again a question back to the child. It's a small amount of water. Do you think that amount of vapor will create the cloud? What do you think must be happening? This way, we're firing up that curiosity engine over and over and over again. And what are we achieving through this? We are in a way, asking our child to think in different ways. Giving the child creative ways of thinking, giving the child multiple ways of reaching to an answer. I can go and on with a lot of examples, but you also think about different kind of examples and scenarios wherein this happens, that you're asked a question by a 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus year old child, and his curiosity is there, and because of which he's continuously asking you questions. So even if you know the answer, you don't know the answer, it really doesn't matter now for you, right? All it matters, all you have to do, put a curiosity talk, right? Ask a question back. Okay, this must be true, but what else do you think? Okay, I feel it's this way, but what else do you think? So in this process, again, even if you know the answer, you don't know the answer, you really don't have to worry, right? You just keep on creating the question back. And even probably, sometimes even you get curious, then you can ask a child, okay, probably you want to end this conversation, you can put it this way. Okay, can we bring a book? Can we find it somewhere? Can we ask dada or ask grandma, grandpa about this? That how does it rain, or whatever question they are having, how it must be happening? Can we ask them? All right. So next time we meet them, we'll put this question to them as well, and let's find it out from them, right? You're putting a different perspective as well, and kind of concluding the conversation, so that the further asking of question kind of stops as well from the child, right? Works both ways. So it's really amazing technique. Do practice this curiosity talk. You have, again, any more questions around this, I will be more than happy to answer. Drop us that email. Now let's take a look at the age group of 6 plus, 7 plus, and 8 plus, right? In this age group, children have experienced everything. They've already asked a lot of questions. Their curiosity is the thirst for curiosity is kind of taken care of. And then the phase comes in when they're exploring the world into doing different kind of activities, right? Especially for the age group of 6 plus, 7 plus years, even parents put children into different classes, into singing class, music class, dance class, all of that. Some children show inclination to all the activities, right? All kinds of activities, they would love to do them. But for some children, they will go to the class for like 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, and post that they will not show as much as interest. And usually it happens that parents also get demotivated, because the child is, I put the money, right? Also money has gone from your pocket as well in paying the fees for that class over there, and probably not interested in going to the class. But keep that in mind, that your child is exploring the world again, right? Let the child explore whatever he wants and wherever he wants. Don't stop him, okay? It'll be probably another $1,000 or $2,000 that you will be putting into the class. You can probably ask the class, the teacher who is taking the class as well, that can there be a trial phase or something like that, so that you save your money as well. But don't stop your child from exploring. He goes to the singing class, goes there for 2-3 days, and he's kind of not interested in going. I wouldn't use the word bored, because boredom is not known to children. Boredom is it's adults term, and we should not push boredom to children. So I would use the term that not interested in going, right? So they show least amount of interest in going over there. It's fine, right? Not much of your money will be invested over there. Don't bother about it, right? Put your child into some other class, right? Or the child will tell you that he wants to go for, let's say, horse riding. Again, he'll go there for 2-3 days, probably is not interested. He might say he would have heard it from other children that some of his friends or her friends are going to swimming class. Put them to swimming class, but let me tell you, one day they're going to find that interest that is kind of sometimes even becomes their life dream as well, to becoming a best swimming athlete, to becoming a musician, if they are going to abacus class, to becoming a mathematician. And this is the way you're going to let your child explore, you let your child experience, and create that platform wherein everything is available to him. All the child needs to do is to pick up what he really wants to do, and then this small thing that you're doing for the child is tomorrow going to flourish into something amazing, right? And instead, when you also get demotivated, if your child goes to refuse to go to these 2 or 3 classes, fourth time you don't put him according to his request, you are not letting your child have that experience, which could actually lead to your child becoming something great in that activity, or your child achieving something great in that activity or skill set, right? So don't let this happen, that make sure that your child has experienced everything and explored everything before he finally decides, yes, this is what I want to do, right? All right, perfect. So now come to the part of wherein we gave you a couple of techniques, that pre-talk, parallel talk, and then we spoke about the curiosity talk, right? And also letting the child explore when they are grown up, 6+ 7+ year old. Now this is very important technique that we also have to cover today, and the technique is called as yes parenting, right? So in the form of yes parenting, now let's have a look at it from a perspective. Again, let's take a small test for yes parenting. Just be mindful, right? Just think about this, that how many times do we use the word no or don't when you're by yourself or you're with the children? How many times do we repeat no and don't, right? And then we complain that I'm becoming too negative, my child probably is becoming a little negative, right? And why is this happening? Because it is happening through the communication that is happening, right, between you and your child and you by yourself. So this continuous harping of no, don't do this, don't do that, what is it doing? It is creating that negative effect. That negative effect brings about negative thoughts, and negative thoughts bring about negative behavior. What do we want? We want positive behavior, positive attitude, positive approach towards doing everything, right? So for positiveness, we have to start with yes parenting, right? So here are some small techniques and tips for you, which, or rather tools for you, which are going to help. So instead of saying don't do this, we are going to convert that into a question. Do you really want to do it this way? So we are basically forming a question. Instead of instructing or using the negative word of don't, we are making the sentence positive, right? And we are asking the child a question. And in asking the child question, we are becoming a communicating parent, right? So again, that instead of don't do this, what do we say? Do you really want to do it this way? Do you really want to climb up? Do you really want to touch that? All right, so we have completely changed the sentence from becoming a negative to a positive question, and we are getting the child to interact. So child in a way is going to be wanting to respond to that, right? In a way that, yes, I want to climb up. Probably he'll say that as well, right? That's also fine, but he'll also get that awareness, or shouldn't be touching something really hot, and shouldn't be touching something that is sharp, right? So instead of saying don't, we convert that into a question, right? Second option is, your child is demanding, right, about something. It could be about chocolates, ice creams, it could be about screen time, right? This is the major problem these days. If the child is asking about screen time and you don't want your child who have that screen time. It's true, and that's how it should happen. So instead of now saying, no, you're not going to get any screen time, or no, I'm not going to give you mobile, don't ask me for the mobile, sit there. No, don't be an instructing parent. How do you do that? Give them an option. Hey buddy, instead of mobile, can we go and play outside? Do you want to have a look at the storybook I brought yesterday? Do you see what is happening? The negation is gone. Did I use any negative word in this sentence? Right? No negation. And instead of that, you're creating an option for the child. That, there is no need to say no now. You've given the child a better option. Try this out and think of different ways. You also be creative of, how can you avoid negativeness? How can you avoid these negative words being consistently used in your sentences, and make that activity of fun, make that thing of fun. Whenever you want to say negative, you create a question instead of that. Or maybe you want to avoid the negativeness and then give another option to the child using a positive sentence. It happens in a great way for you as well, because you're creating a positive sentence. You, for yourself, are taking those negative sentences out. And again, with you taking those negative words and sentences out, you are eliminating negativeness from your thoughts. And ultimately, because of that, your behavior, which comes out of the thoughts, also becomes positive, right? So it totally becomes a yes parenting experience, a positive parenting experience. Isn't that true? So let's look at, the major techniques that we discussed today. First one, the pre-talk. Second one, the parallel talk. Third one, the curiosity talk. When the child has grown, he has curiosity and he's asking questions. That's the curiosity talk. Next comes, the child has grown and then, he wants to experience and explore, and how do we go about it? And the last one that we discuss is yes parenting technique, right? In, all of these practices, usually it takes a little bit of patience, right? It's really not easy for you to do that pre-talk when you're performing, you're going to every event, and, you're going to, a journey, or you're going to travel, and multiple such scenarios, right? You can not just do marriages or events or journeys, you can apply this everywhere. But, it's really not easy for you to be able to communicate consistently on a regular basis, especially with the parallel talk, when you're mixing things up, and you're telling your child through whatever you're doing, performing the activity, and you're telling your child probably just through words, sentences, or through rhymes. It's really not that easy. It takes little bit of that patience. Let's look at the benefits that are coming through this. There's going to be an increased verbal communication. There's going to be more vocabulary that your child is building through these practices. We're building the database of information. We are doing the sensory development child, right? The sensory development is also happening. He's seeing, he's listening, all the sensory development is happening. And you also have this benefit, by this little patience, your parenting experience is also going to become blissful. Also, in this entire process, you again have to remember that even though your child is a child, the child is an individual. You're raising an individual who is ultimately going to become an adult tomorrow, right? So, and always have to remember that children usually have their own ways of expressing their needs, right? Don't treat them as childish behavior. They have their own ways. As we become adults, we have different ways. Their ways are a little different. Instead of, making them accustomed to our ways, sometimes we have to be accustomed to their ways as well. So understand this. Treat them as individuals. They are also people, they are also person. Communicate with them. Instead of becoming an instructing parent, let's now all of us try and become that communicating parent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the parents who joined us for this session today. And we would love to hear it from you, that how you like this session, number one. And number two, even you, if you have your own different ways of communicating with children, we would also love to hear about them. Do drop us an email and let us know that what are the ways, different ways that you also use for communicating in a better way with your children. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day.